This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Max and Mia podcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. It's so good to be here with you again. How are you today, Max?
I'm feeling great, thanks. I've been looking forward to this episode because it's about one of the biggest challenges for English learners.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. Let me guess. Listening is okay, but speaking feels so much harder.
Exactly. Many of our listeners tell us the same thing. I can understand English, but when I try to speak, the words just don't come out.
And you know what? That's completely normal. If you don't live in an English-speaking country, speaking is the skill you practice the least.
Right. So, today we want to share some fun and practical ideas to help you improve both your speaking and listening skills.
We'll give you tips that you can actually use in your daily life, even if you don't have a native speaker around.
So stay with us, relax, and let's learn together.
And if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content.
All right, so let's start with our first activity. This is something we've done in previous episodes, and you guys seem to really enjoy it. We're going to show you an image, and your job is to describe it in as much detail as possible. Every little thing you notice, colors, objects, people, actions, whatever catches your eye.
It's a great exercise.
Exactly. Now, if you're watching the video, we'll put the image on screen for just a few seconds. Try to describe it out loud, even if you're alone. I know it might feel a bit weird talking to yourself, but trust me, it works. And if you need more time, just pause the video. No rush at all. Take your time to really think about what you see and how you'd explain it in English.
And if you're just listening to the podcast while driving or working out, don't worry. You won't see the image, but after a moment, we'll give you our description. That way, you can imagine it in your mind, which is actually fantastic training for your listening skills.
Right. Because when someone describes something to you, you're training your brain to visualize and understand without seeing it. That's super useful in real conversations. Plus, after we describe it, you'll get a clear idea of what the image looked like. So you're still getting a lot out of this exercise.
It's a double benefit.
Exactly. So, are you ready? Get comfortable. Maybe grab a pen if you want to write down some words or phrases. Remember, there's no perfect answer here. Just do your best and focus on expressing what you see.
All right, here comes the first image.
All right, time's up. So, what we've got here is a couple cleaning their living room together. Pretty relatable, right?
Definitely. Teamwork.
So let me break it down. On the left, there's a woman with a ponytail wearing purple gloves. She's using a feather duster to clean a picture frame on the wall. On the right, a guy is vacuuming the sofa with the hose attachment. He's also got purple gloves and an apron on.
The room looks really nice and bright.
Yeah, it's a modern living space with white walls. There's a white shelf on the left with some plants and decorative stuff, and the gray sofa has this cool turquoise cushion that really pops. At the bottom, you can see cleaning products in a basket, spray bottles, and more little plants. Now let's talk about useful vocabulary here. When you remove dust, we say dust or dust off. She's dusting the frame. For the vacuum, just say vacuum. He's vacuuming the sofa. Simple.
What about phrasal verbs?
Good question. There are some everyday ones that fit perfectly here. For example, pick up means grab something. pick up those clothes. Put away means return it to its place. Tidy up is to clean and organize. Wipe down is cleaning with a cloth. And take out or throw out for trash. Super common in everyday English.
How did you guys do? Did you catch most of it?
Remember, there's no perfect answer. Just focus on describing what you see and using those words out loud. That's what matters.
Ready for image number 2?
Let's go. All right, second image. So here we've got a group of friends at a restaurant having a meal together. There are 5 women and 1 man sitting around a table, and a waiter standing next to them. He's holding a tablet or a small menu, and it looks like he's taking their order or maybe suggesting something.
They all look really happy.
Yeah, everyone's smiling and engaged in conversation. On the table, you can see several plates with salads, lots of greens, vegetables, maybe some cheese. There are also glasses with drinks. Some of them have straws. In the background, there's a nice painting of mountains on the wall, which gives the place a cozy vibe.
Restaurant vocabulary is so practical.
Absolutely. Let's cover some key words. The person serving you is the waiter or server. He's holding the menu. That's where you choose your food. You're sitting at a table, eating from a plate or dish, and drinking from a glass. Now for phrasal verbs. Sit down, like they did when they arrived. Look at the menu to decide what you want. Pick out means to choose something. I'm going to pick out the salad. Try out means to test something new. Let's try out this restaurant.
What about ordering?
Good point. In English, we say order food. For example, can I order the chicken salad? Then the waiter might write down what you want, bring you the food, and later you pay for your meal. You could also share dishes with friends or even taste something from their plate.
Very useful stuff.
Definitely. So in this scene, you could say, the waiter is taking their order. They're chatting and laughing together. Or, one of the women is holding a fork. Pretty straightforward, right? How did your description go?
Next image coming up.
Wow, this one's intense. We've got firefighters in action here, dealing with a serious fire. There are 4 firefighters in the foreground, and they're all wearing protective gear, helmets, and what looks like heavy-duty suits. They're holding a fire hose, and you can see the water spraying toward the flames.
The fire looks massive.
It really does. On the left side, there's a building completely engulfed in flames. Bright orange and yellow fire everywhere, with thick smoke filling the air. The whole scene has this orange glow to it because of the intensity of the fire. It's clearly an emergency situation. Now let's talk about the vocabulary for this kind of scenario. The people in the image are firefighters or firemen. They wear helmets and protective suits to stay safe. They're using a hose to spray water. You could say they're spraying water or hosing down the fire.
What about the fire itself?
Good point. The fire is made up of flames. Those are the actual tongues of fire you see. There's also smoke rising up. When talking about fire, we say it burns or it spreads, meaning it grows bigger and moves to other areas. Now for phrasal verbs, the most important one is put out. That means to extinguish a fire. The firefighters are trying to put out the fire. When a fire starts, we say it breaks out. A fire broke out in this building last night.
Those are really useful.
Yeah. You can also say call out the fire department. That means to request their help. Gear up means to put on your equipment and get ready, and carry out means to perform an action, like they carried out a rescue operation. So you could describe this image by saying, firefighters are fighting a massive fire. They're working as a team to put out the flames, or the building is burning and there's smoke everywhere.
How'd you do with this one? Pretty dramatic scene.
Definitely. Now let's move on to the next image. All right, image number 4. This one's got a totally different vibe. We're looking at what appears to be a protest or demonstration. In the foreground, there's a police officer wearing a white helmet with a transparent face shield attached to it. He's also holding a clear riot shield. You can see it right in front of him.
And there's a big crowd behind him.
Exactly. In the background, there's a large group of people, and many of them are holding up cameras or phones, taking pictures of the scene. The whole image has this tense atmosphere. You can tell it's some kind of public gathering or demonstration. Now, let's break down the vocabulary here. The officer is wearing riot gear. That's the special protective equipment used in these situations. He's got a helmet with a face shield, and he's holding a riot shield. The group of people is called a crowd, and this situation is a protest or demonstration.
What verbs work here?
Some good ones are wear, he's wearing a helmet. Hold, he's holding a shield. Protect, the shield protects him. Face, the police are facing the crowd. And in the back, take a picture, record, or film. Now let's also add some phrasal verbs, because they're very common in this kind of situation. For example, stand up to means to confront or oppose. Break out, a protest broke out in the city. Push back, the police pushed back the crowd. And carry on means to continue, like journalists carry on documenting the event.
Powerful image.
Definitely. You could describe it by saying, police officers are blocking the crowd with shields. People are taking photos of the protest. Or there's tension between the police and the demonstrators. This kind of vocabulary is super useful for discussing current events. So, how did that go for you guys? Were the images easy or challenging to describe?
I'm curious. Did you manage to get most of the details? Or did you find yourself searching for words?
That's totally normal, by the way. If you struggled with some descriptions, that's actually a good sign. It means you're identifying the gaps in your vocabulary, and that's the first step to improving.
Exactly. This exercise is really valuable.
And here's the thing. What we just did might seem like a simple activity, but it's actually one of the most effective ways to boost your speaking skills. Describing things forces you to use vocabulary actively, not just recognize it passively.
So what can people do with this in their daily lives?
Great question. And this might sound obvious, but hear me out. The absolute best way to improve your English and stop freezing up when you speak is to start thinking in English. I mean literally, throughout your entire day.
Like a running commentary in your head.
Exactly. Every activity you do, narrate it in English in your mind. Making breakfast? Think. I'm cracking an egg. I'm pouring milk into my coffee. Going outside? Look around and describe what you see. That guy is walking his dog. The bus is pulling up to the stop. Those kids are playing in the park. If you're on the metro, in your car, or just walking down the street, use that time. Describe the people around you, what they're wearing, what they're doing. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful.
And what if you don't know a word?
Perfect question. That's where your phone comes in handy. If you see something and realize you don't know how to say it in English, jot it down real quick. Later, look it up. Next time you see that thing, you'll remember the word because you needed it in a real context.
Context is everything.
Absolutely. And here's another tip. I know it feels weird at first, but seriously, it works. When you're walking, driving, or doing chores, just speak out loud. Describe what you're doing, comment on things you see, even have imaginary conversations.
It's like free speaking practice anytime, anywhere.
Exactly. You don't need a conversation partner. You don't need to pay for classes. You just need to commit to thinking and speaking in English throughout your day. That's how you build fluency and stop getting stuck when it's time to actually talk to someone.
That's really helpful and easy to apply in daily life.
The key is consistency. Do this every day, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time, and you'll notice a huge difference in how naturally English starts coming to you. All right, so now that you've got those strategies, let's put everything together with a listening exercise. We're going to play you a conversation between two friends, and they'll be using a lot of the vocabulary and phrasal verbs we covered today.
Listen carefully and see if you can catch everything. Try to identify the phrasal verbs and the different situations they're talking about.
Don't worry if you miss some parts on the first listen. Focus and see how much you can understand. Ready?
Here we go.
Hey, Tom. Long time no see. How have you been?
Oh, hey, Sarah. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been, pretty busy, actually. You know how it is. How about you?
Same here. Crazy week, honestly. So, what have you been up to lately?
Well, let me think. Oh, yesterday was insane. I had lunch with some old college friends at this new place downtown. You know, the Italian restaurant that just opened up?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that place. How was it?
It was really good. So we all sat down around this big table, and the waiter came over to take our order. Nice guy, very friendly. Anyway, we ordered a bunch of different dishes to share, pizzas, pasta, salads, the usual stuff.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it was. But here's the thing. I tried to pick out something different from the menu, something I'd never tried before. Ended up getting this mushroom risotto, and honestly, it was amazing. I told everyone, you guys have to try this out.
Ha! I love when that happens. There's nothing like finding a new favorite dish.
Right? So we were all just chatting and laughing, catching up on life. Oh, and one of my friends brought up this crazy story about a fire that broke out near her apartment last week.
Wait, seriously? That sounds scary.
Yeah, she said she was at home, just tidying up her living room, putting away some books, picking up stuff from the floor, when suddenly she heard sirens outside.
Oh, no.
So she looked out the window and saw this huge fire at the building across the street. There were flames everywhere and thick smoke just filling up the sky. The firefighters showed up pretty quickly, though.
Thank God.
Yeah, she said they were amazing. They geared up super fast and started spraying water to put out the fire. It took them like an hour or so, but they managed to control it. Everyone was safe, thank goodness.
Wow, that must have been terrifying to watch.
I know, right? Anyway, enough about fires. What about you? What have you been doing?
Well, funny you should ask. This morning, I decided to tidy up my apartment because, honestly, it was a mess. I mean, I've been putting it off for weeks.
I feel you. Cleaning is not exactly fun.
Tell me about it. So I started dusting off all the shelves, getting rid of all that dust that builds up. Then I vacuumed the whole living room, wiped down the kitchen counters. I even threw out a bunch of old stuff I didn't need anymore.
Sounds productive.
It was. But then in the afternoon, things got a bit crazy. I went downtown to run some errands, and, well, I kind of walked right into a protest.
A protest? Seriously?
Yeah, I had no idea it was happening. I just turned the corner and suddenly there were all these people gathered in the street. There must have been hundreds of them.
What was it about?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but there were police officers everywhere, wearing helmets and holding those big shields. They were trying to push back the crowd, keep things under control, you know?
That sounds intense.
It was! And so many people were taking pictures and recording videos with their phones. I mean, everyone had their cameras out. Some journalists were there too, carrying on with their job despite all the chaos.
Did things get out of hand?
Not really, thankfully. I think everyone was trying to calm down the situation. The police were just standing there, facing the crowd, and most people were peaceful, but still, you could feel the tension in the air, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine. That must have been quite the sight.
It really was. I didn't stick around for too long, though. I just wanted to get my stuff done and head home. So I carried on with my errands and got out of there pretty quickly.
Smart move.
Yeah. Anyway, after all that excitement, I just came home, made myself some tea, and now I'm just chilling. Oh, and I need to remember to take out the trash later. I keep forgetting.
The never-ending battle with household chores.
Seriously. But you know what? Even with all the cleaning and the unexpected protest, it's been a pretty interesting day. Life's never boring, right?
Absolutely. Well, hey, we should definitely meet up again soon. Maybe grab coffee or something?
Yeah, I'd love that. Let's not wait another month this time.
Deal. All right, I gotta run, but it was great seeing you.
You too, Tom. Take care.
You too, bye.
All right. How much of that did you catch? Did you hear all those phrasal verbs we talked about earlier?
That was a lot of vocabulary loaded into one conversation.
It really was. And notice how natural it sounded? That's because they were using those expressions in real contexts, describing their day, talking about what happened to them. That's exactly what you should be doing when you practice thinking in English.
So, what did you think? Were you able to follow along with Sarah and Tom?
If you didn't get everything the first time, that's completely fine. You can always rewind and listen again. That's actually great practice for your listening skills. The more you expose yourself to natural conversations like that, the easier it gets.
Absolutely.
And remember what we talked about today. Describing images, thinking in English throughout your day, and talking to yourself out loud. These aren't just exercises. They're habits. Build them into your daily routine, and you'll see real progress.
Your speaking and listening skills won't improve overnight, but with consistent practice, you'll definitely get there.
Exactly. And hey, we want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let us know which image was the hardest to describe. Did you manage to catch all the phrasal verbs in the conversation? We love hearing from you guys.
And if you found this episode helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps us out and lets us know you want more content like this.
Hey, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next episode. We've got tons of practical English lessons coming your way.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, keep thinking in English.
And we'll catch you in the next episode.
See you soon.
Bye, everyone.